Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is SEL0320 representing JVS. Yes, I am very cold. Yes, I do have some. But just finished looking at episode 6 of season 5 of The Flash. It's called The ICICLE Cometh, which is a terrible name, because the only thing I can think of is The Iceman Cometh from Arnold Schwarzenegger and Batman and Robin. And that was meme worthy. This episode was kind of hard for me to actually think about and review, because I feel like there's way too many storylines going on at the same time in this episode. Specifically, the Cecile and elongated man moment. It kind of just was like, yeah, that gives Cecile stuff to do, but it kind of was like unnecessary. And it just doesn't feel right because Joe isn't there, and of course your man Jesse is still recovering. He had to take a leave of absence. Pray he's continuing healing. The situation, it was Nora, Harrison Wells, and your girl, what's her name? Nora. Alicia doesn't really like Nora's story arc.
I don't.
This episode I really didn't. I felt like it was unnecessary. Felt like it was way too forced. I felt like Nora was like, oh, well, I saw my mom do something really cool. Now I want to get all clingy to her, which is very unrealistic from any kid. Like, if a kid has had resentment for a long period of time, then maybe they'll start opening up and like kind of looking for a second. But it's not like immediately like, oh, well, I want to know everything about you. Only kid I know to do something like that is Stewie Griffin on Family Guy. I know I'm using a lot of cultural references right now, I apologize. But I'm trying to articulate this so I'm not just completely a Debbie Downer and negative. I feel like they definitely were forcing Nora's story arc, and I definitely agree with my wife that Nora is lying, and they're not asking a lot of probing questions. Personally, I think that, my theory is that the Reverse Flash let her know that the only way she'd be able to see her father again, she had to go into the past, and maybe she can prevent what happens to her dad if she stays there long enough. And of course, Reverse Flash would do that to try to mess up everything with the timeline. And indirectly, they did mess up the timeline. So that's my theory on who sent Nora back. But either way, this episode is just kind of just unnecessary. I mean, it could have been a cool graphical moment because they did reference what Iris did when she had super speed. But it was kind of just like, I knew Harrison Wells was setting them up to kind of do what they were doing. I think the most interesting part of this episode was the Icicle arc. The problem with it is Team Flash being so gullible. Like, even Barry Allen said to everybody, like, you know, your boy Thawne, you know, your boy that was Zoom, like, you know, they're going to continue to do the right thing. But it's like, you got to have an open mind. You got to be ready. Like, if you know for a fact there's a vulnerability there, you don't sit there and recreate the same thing. That's crazy. That's totally crazy, because, you know, you could tell that Icicle was lying. You could tell that something was off even before they even decided to bring him back. Me and my wife were like, don't bring him back. Don't bring this man back. It just don't seem like a good idea. And they did that anyway. Like, and it's kind of like the only person that was wise, the only person I really liked in this episode was Cisco. Because Cisco was on point from jump. He was like, something ain't right. This don't make sense. Here's the evidence. Nobody wanted to believe it. Now, it did allow for Danielle Panabaker, that plays the role of Killer Frost and Caitlin, to really stretch her acting ability and push herself a little bit. But it's kind of just, it felt forced too, because it was like, you didn't have to get to this point. Not just that, how can they survive in minus 450 degrees Fahrenheit? Absolute zero. How could they survive, period? It doesn't make, that don't add up. Now, I can see Nora and Barry surviving, but Cisco and your boy Elongated Man, maybe Elongated Man, because he's made out of rubber, but Cisco shouldn't have been able to survive. It doesn't make sense. I don't get that. Like, at the point of it, I was like, how did they even, I mean, yeah, you freezing to death, but at a certain point, like, your limbs would start to freeze off, and it didn't add up. I was sitting there thinking that Icicle was actually going to give Caitlin the serum, and like, I think that would have been more of an interesting twist if, like, he was like, I brought you here all the way to this moment because I know who my real daughter is, and I need her to be here. and then he injected her, and then they're trying to find out how to get Caitlin back. I think that would have been a better arc, personally. But I am glad to see that Killer Frost is back. But they don't stop there. They give her the dampener for her mental ability to talk to her other self. And I don't think that's smart. No. Because Harrison Wells suffered a huge mental loss from the same dampener. Now, it's probably a better model, but she's talking to another personality of herself. And
this whole thing is silly.
It kind of undermines the whole ICICLE effect of this episode, where he's a cool villain, got great powers, and it's like, I don't know. And we didn't even get into Cicada. I personally feel like I get what's going on with Cicada, that the more he is getting weaker, the stronger he actually is getting. But it's kind of just like he spent the whole episode with a serious wound that he was stabbed in the beginning of the episode, and it had to have gone, of course, at least 24 to 48 hours. And this man ain't bleed out from a wound that wasn't stitched. No blood anywhere, just the same exact mark. Nah, bruh. Nah, that don't make no sense at all. He should have bled out. He passed out, right? He passed out, and the black lady came there and woke him up.
She did.
But there was no blood anywhere. It was just a scar there. I understand this scar, that's fine. But this scar right here, that just don't add up. I don't even know what to review. I can't give this episode a number. There's some cool things in this episode, but I don't know, man.
You don't know.
I don't know. But, you got any closing thoughts, baby?
Nope.
This is what we have to say. Bring Gotham
the
back.
The power is yours.
What?
Here's what Captain Planet.
No. Oh my god.
You know it. Come on. You know.
I was about to say, bring Gotham back, and Titans, continue to do your freaking thing, because you are the best
Titans
superhero show right now.
Titans is amazing.
Right now.
No lie.
Now, Daredevil season 3 is one of the best I've ever seen, period. But right now, what's on TV? Titans got it. Titans got it on point right now. Anyway, I'm about to check out this Black Lightning. Keep it locked, JBS. We ain't gonna stop. Hope y'all enjoyed this review. Peace, guys. My son's gotta go to bed.